Boys, we're live.
Hello?
We're here.
Hello.
Look at this. Chat, thank you for joining us for a very special episode of PUGCast. It's been a while.
Yeah.
PUGCast.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
3 weeks, maybe longer.
About 4 weeks. Basically, here's what happened. I got laid off, and I didn't want to do the show because I got real sad. And then, like, the next week, it was like something happened. I don't know. It just it just kept getting pushed back.
Well, we thought we were having the baby that one.
Well,
Monday
yeah,
night.
and then I think it was like the next week we thought we were gonna have the baby, and then it was like false alarm, but now the baby's here.
Baby's here.
And we have a very special guest with us today. My lovely wife, Shada Patronus, or everyone calls her the real streamer. That's what she's known on my stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. And there it is, boys. It's time to get started with the show. You can hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, everything sounds good.
All right,
I
cool.
can't close the closet, don't it, Jared? Because my little kitten is sleeping in the closet in his little corner, and I don't want to lock him in there. Okay.
Aw,
So-
so
You have a
cute.
kitten? Aw.
We got a new cat like maybe about a month ago or so, and he's just a little boy.
Boy. Wow, look at us.
Yeah.
New baby, a new kitten.
True.
He's my son.
New cats, new
Your
kittens.
son. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Well-
growing the family.
I
We
know.
always start off every single episode with the same question. It's been a while, so I'm trying to remember, but I mean, I already know the story. But how did you get started playing World of Warcraft?
Okay. So.
Says the guy that caused it.
Is it okay if I call you by your name?
I don't-
feel
yeah.
weird calling you Shocklate.
Yeah,
but
you can call me by my name. You can call me by my government name. That's fine.
I've
Jonathan.
known of World of Warcraft since I was probably like 12, like young, because my cousins played, but I didn't actually ever play until you tried getting me to play when we were just dating.
Yep.
I maybe sat there for 15 minutes and gave up because it was like too many buttons, too much stuff on the screen. And then a couple years ago, we made a character. Do you remember that?
Yeah. We tried again.
It was the same thing. I couldn't do it. I like playing like shooting games, right?
Yeah.
And John was like, they're coming out with this new expansion, and it's supposed to be more user friendly. Let's just try it. And we've just been home doing nothing with quarantine, so I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. I was, before baby, obviously. And yeah, so I made a character, and here we are.
Well, you first made your character on beta. You tried leveling on beta, like Exile's Reach. So
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
right,
shit, that's right.
right, yeah.
So you did Exile's Reach first, and then
Yeah.
you actually, like, when I was like, oh, well, like, the pre-expansion's out, like, they did all the leveling changes and all that stuff, so, like, now's, like, the best time to do it, and now
Yeah.
she's level 50. She hit level 50.
Well, so what character did you make, and how did you feel? Like, what made you decide to choose that class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what did I make? I made a warrior blood elf.
Yeah, Blood Elf Warrior, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I don't know which way to say it.
It's
What
fine,
comes
either way.
first?
Blood Elf Warrior.
Okay, blood elf warrior. I told him that I wanted something with like a lot of action. I like to be all up in, whatever
grill.
else. And I didn't want to do like, to me, like mage sounds like you're standing in the back like conducting spells.
That's
And-
exactly what you do.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I was like, no, like that doesn't sound like, I want action. So he's like, okay, let's do this. And then I just liked the way the elf looked because it looked like a person. And I wanted to do a Volpera, but he wouldn't let me.
Well, you
No.
couldn't even do a Volpera because you didn't even have them on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was because
That is not
Well,
a Volpera household.
Well, now she has
Well,
a
now it
Volpera.
is.
She has a Volpera now.
Okay,
She made
dude,
a
okay.
or a hunter. That's her second
we
character.
have a Volpera gang going on now.
Except for me, I'm a paladin.
Oh, boy.
I run like a shelter for Volpera apparently.
He won't. Yeah. He
Okay.
He
You know,
won't.
we
Do it.
bring them in, rehabilitate them, and then release them back to the wild where they belong.
Where they belong.
Yep. So
And that's when hunting season begins.
yeah. So you're like the only person who like recently started WoW that I know of. Like everyone else that like played WoW,
They've been doing it forever.
they've been playing forever. Like I think it's like so rare to find new players in the game.
It's
So-
true. It's true. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't like I feel like new players of WoW like aren't the type of people that are gonna go on Twitter and like kind of be like, kind of voice their opinions like we expect, you know, because like all of us like in our like circle, we like
we
share
just,
our
like,
opinions every
constantly
fucking day,
complain
like
on Twitter.
exactly. That's what we use Twitter for, like, you know. So I feel like it's kind of hard for us to find like new players and kind of hear other people out for their first experiences. So this is like a really good opportunity to talk to Jen, who just started getting into it. So do you think you're going to continue playing? Like, what do you like about it so far?
Yeah.
What do you not like about it?
A couple things, going back to y'all saying about like new players going on Twitter. It almost feels like you guys are one big clique and I'm like an outsider trying to like hang. Like I feel
What's up, fellow gamers?
It's a very intimidating I don't know, like I feel like I'm trying to get into this like secret circle and I, you know, like
you are.
Yeah.
You actually are though.
There's so much going on and y'all all know, and you really do, even in everyone's streams, like I'll join different people's streams just to see like what their WoW experience is like, and the whole time everyone complains. Like,
yeah,
the
like,
whole
fuck this game.
like,
This
why do y'all
game's
play
dog
this
shit.
game if you don't like it? But no, I don't know if I can play by myself. I have a really hard time. Like, I don't know how to even invite somebody to come and play with me. Like, you always have to invite me. I know how to get on.
You right click them and you hit invite.
I mean, or like you get to hit Shift P for this or hit. Yeah. I don't remember any of that. So
well,
how would you?
I mean, to be fair, you're only like 18 hours played in the game. Like you only have like you don't even have a full day of playtime.
Yeah.
There's still much to. I recommend honestly, like as a new player, like I know it might be overwhelming because there's so many classes and everything, but there's so much for you to learn. Like and I feel like leveling is so fast now that you kind of like it kind of went by in a flash. You're like, oh, okay, like what the fuck just happened? Yeah. So like I feel like maybe you should level another character. Like maybe like you know after Shadowlands, I guess like you know once you do the intro quest and everything and like you know you get to max level. Yeah. I recommend just leveling another character and getting yourself familiar with like another class, just so you can like broaden your knowledge of
totally.
WoW.
Well, I think too, like just like just with anything, like the longer you play, the more.
Yeah, I guess you guys have been playing for years and years and years, so you learn those like fast ways of going about things, or like the shortcuts. But I mean, like
imagine trying to compare less than a day played to 14 years of playing.
Right.
Like you know, it's hard to compare those two. So
yeah, I like it. It's just a lot, and I prefer playing with other people. Like when we played that one night with like
it's an MMO, you know, so like it's meant to be like a big social game, and like whenever we were playing, you know, with Donut Jared and Tiger Panda and Nicholas, and we had a blast. Like it was so much fun.
But that's like why I like playing Fortnite, or back in the day when me and you would play like Black Ops, it would be, I enjoyed it because we were playing together.
Yeah, and we were playing with like our, you know, Nathan or whoever.
Yeah, and then I like Fortnite because I play with friends. I could care less about the game, and I think that's why I like WoW, is because it's like me and you sitting here doing it together, and then like with friends or whatever.
And I mean, like we're also like in like a really like good community on Twitch and like in like people's streams as well. So like everyone like. Yeah. Everyone who you like meet like in these communities, like they're all gonna be super helpful, and like no one, you know, like I feel like as like new players, I think maybe they get like intimidated because they don't want to seem stupid or bad, or like they don't want like it's almost like I kind of feel like that going into Mythic Plus, because I'm not like a big Mythic Plus player. Like even like I kind of feel like that, where I'm like, damn, like I've been playing this game for, you know, 13 years now, and like even I'm like, oh, like am I doing this right? Like is this like, you know,
so what's Mythic Plus?
It's like speed running dungeons at like harder difficulties. So you get like achievements, like the higher level you get, kind of thing, better gear.
That's
it's like the max level like dungeons for the current expansion, and then you can plug in like a key like in the beginning of it, and that'll increase the difficulty of that dungeon, and then you'll get like higher rewards or whatever. And there's a timer on, and you got to finish it. You don't have to finish it before the timer ends out, but it's better to finish it before the timer ends out, because you get better gear and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like every time you clear it, you get like a harder key. So there's like 2 keys and 1 key. So you feel like if you beat it really fast, then your key upgrades by 2. You like skip 2 levels, but if you only do it 1, then you only get 1 level. And if you
that sounds like something I would like to do.
Yeah, like I think like Mythic Plus is fun with friends, but like I don't like doing like pugs. Like
No,
like
and that's something
pickup keeps are
that's
always hard.
that's what I'm like really looking forward to in Shadowlands, because like man, I've been like in the feels today, because like I'm thinking about like all of the shit that has happened just from the time between BFA announcement and then now. Like there's stuff that happened in my personal life, there's stuff that happened in like the WoW community in general, and just like so much stuff happened. Like I'm looking forward to just like actually experiencing a hopefully good expansion with friends that I've made while bonding over a bad expansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
Okay, so what
I'm
made
just hyped.
BFA so bad? You guys were all so
So
excited
there
for it.
were a ton of
Okay, let me get my textbook.
let's just here, I got my notepad here.
Exactly.
So like
Let me hold on. Let me.
Let's start off with like let's start off with the good things about BFA. Leveling was really good. Leveling was really fun. I really liked it. I liked it. I thought it was good.
I've gone back and leveled through Coltiris like just recently on a mage that I made. And the leveling just like experience is fun, but like back when BFA launched, like going from 110 to 120 was terrible.
That's
it was just
bad.
Not a fun time.
Yeah, and that's not
it
good.
Was because we had these
I was
like
saying,
artifact
leveling
weapons
in the expansion.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess so.
He's
Okay,
like,
But just go ahead.
Well, I'll say something that made BFA bad was like Azurite gear. So there's a system where you get this. You know how you got like the Heart of Azeroth necklace on your character?
Yeah.
It's like level 55 or whatever. So you got that, and then you like upgrade that, and you get like traits unlocked on certain gear. So like certain gear in old expansions had like bonuses. So if you have like multiple items equipped of the same set, you get a bonus. So like encourage you to have like 4 pieces of that set, and then you have like a really big damage increase basically.
The problem with this system was that it wasn't developed, and they launched the expansion and they're like, okay, we'll fix it, but here's the expansion.
You couldn't trade any of the gear, you couldn't sell any of the gear.
So is that why you guys are so happy that they pushed back the release of this one? Because like maybe
there are other systems, that we were hoping that they would work on, and I thought they were going to,
so
whatever. I guess so.
they're going back to the old way of gear sets.
Uh-huh.
So instead of like having like Azurite gear where like you have like different traits on each piece and you have to like level up, it's more like you get the item from the raid, that's the item. There's no more like guesswork involved. Like if the item's good, the item's good.
Yeah.
Another thing too is like Titan forging, things that like you get like random like procs to like upgrade the gear. So you'd get something to drop and it would like Titan forge and become 3 times stronger just because. But then you'd have people who did way harder content and they never had that happen.
Yeah.
And so like it rewarded people. It didn't. It
was like random.
Yeah, completely random. So then it was hard to like pinpoint gear because everything was random. So I think like it was just systems on top of systems on top of systems that just made it so complicated to play, and like
I think
and bad to have multiple characters. So
I think the biggest problem, I'm always going to go back to this, the biggest problem that I had with BFA is that the previous expansion was so centered around class identity and involving you as the character in the bigger picture of the story and the game, whereas in BFA
it made you the hero.
Well, in Legion, you had the artifact weapons, you had the class sets, and you had all this class fantasy, and you felt like you were a part of the world. In BFA, yeah, you're still that stupid ass like champion of Azeroth, but you're wearing like trash can gear that looks exactly the same as everybody else. There's nothing distinguishing you from an NPC. Exactly. Like, yeah, it's just kind of like there was a how do I want to phrase this? It took away the identity of like the actual game, BFA. So like I feel like going into Shadowlands now that we're gonna have a little more of that, hopefully, like class identity later on with the sets and being able to choose like a loyalty to a covenant, which will add another layer to it. I think that'll be good for the game. BFA was just like NPC town for me, and I just wasn't motivated to do any of the content because the rewards were just so lackluster.
Yeah. There was nothing like enticing you. It was like back in like Legion, like because we were looking at like the gear sets for like, for things to farm, and like some of them are really really cool looking, and like that like makes you like want to go out and do that content because it's like, oh, like me putting in the effort is gonna give me a good enough reward to where it's worth my time. And in BFA there was like barely any of that. Yeah. Like there wasn't really anything that was like worth getting.
So Shadowlands is gonna be is that what we're like?
We're going into Shadowlands tomorrow.
No, but what have we been doing?
We've been leveling and doing the pre-patch event. So like every expansion they have like an event that happens where like a couple weeks before they do they have like some sort of invasion or ways to gear up your characters or basically just like a fun one-time event that will go away forever after once like so tomorrow.
Did you say 5, fun?
Well, I mean like this one wasn't that fun.
I had fun.
I mean, it was like it's fun. It was fun like hanging out with the boys and farming rares. Like that was fun, you know. But like
that's fun. I haven't done that with anybody.
I think the best expansion event was the one for BFA or Legion. BFA and Legion.
No, Legion was my favorite of all time.
But BFA was fun, right? Because they had like the burning of Teldrassil. You can do they burned down.
I remember the world quests in Teldrassil, but that was it.
Committing mass genocide, fun stuff, right?
So, Shadowlands essentially is like another world with like a new set of like quests.
It's another world. Yeah, exactly.
So let's bring you up to speed on the story real quick.
I have no idea what the story is. I haven't been paying attention.
Just like a brief synopsis. So Sylvanas, the queen of the undead.
The one you love.
I hate her. Listen, I hate her. She is, this evil villain now, where she is working with the basically gods of death. He's known as a jailer. He's like the ruler of the underworld. Okay. So everyone that dies goes to the Shadowlands. Their soul goes to the Shadowlands, and depending on how you lived your life, you go to a different version of the Shadowlands. So there's the 4 places. There's Ardenweald, which is like druidic and like nature furries.
Yeah.
Then there's like Bastion, which is like if you were like selfless in your life, then you like continue like that selflessness and like serve and be like a servant to people and help.
Sounds like what's that movie? With Jennifer Lawrence, all the Hunger Games or whatever, all the different.
The fact like the fact.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Or like the districts.
The district.
Or
and then,
whatever the one is a shade.
Like Maldraxxus is like you are like if you're like a warrior, you are strong. You're like very like determined. You would go there and you like fight basically for eternity. That's like you like battle. It's like Valhalla, except like zombies everywhere. Yeah. And then Venthyr is like if you were like really bad, but like not bad enough to go to the Maw, which is hell. Like basically the Maw is hell. Like that's like the best way to put it. So like the worst of the worst go to the Maw, and the ones right before that who were like very like greedy or like conceited or prideful, they go to Venthyr, and like you basically get like tortured for their sins. Okay. So there's like different zones. Yeah. And Sylvanas is working with the guy who runs all of them because he like stopped the flow of anima, which is like their life force down there. Anima.
Enema?
No.
Oh.
Anima.
Oh.
Anime?
Anime.
That's what runs on Ardenweald is anime.
I'm just really excited for Shadowlands, man. I'm really hopeful that sorry, I had to burp. I feel like there's a lot, we have problems with like the Covenant systems or whatever the hell, but like other than that, and I have my own issues with Torghast, but like I'm sure that like I'm hopeful that we're getting the base model of the car, and then later on we're gonna upgrade it.
We can put the leather seats in secondary.
Exactly.
It's more like finishing touches, like putting in leather seats, upgrading the stereo.
Exactly.
As long as the stereo works.
Twice a year, once a year, they come out with a new expansion.
Every 2 years for the most part.
Oh, every 2 years.
Yeah, but they also put in like big, content patches.
That's
like maybe like how many I forget.
You started at the very end of an expansion.
So that was like as good as it was gonna get.
Basically. 8.2 is pretty good, but like that's basically that's like all the major changes. And so we're going to this new expansion, and then so we go into the expansion, then the first like raid comes out, and that's the 9.0 raid, and that's like
And that's gonna be the one where like everyone dies because we were just like killing it didn't we like?
Oh yeah, like whenever you're like raiding. Oh yeah, so like we did like old raids. Yeah. Like raids that were we did like Warlords of Draenor raids. So like everything just dies in one shot. This is actually gonna be like challenging. Like you're gonna have to like get into a group, strategize, do the mechanics. It's basically like a giant puzzle. Yeah. With killing a boss.
Right.
So then you have like you'll do the raid, and then like after like a couple months, 2-3 months, the next patch will come out. And so they'll release a new raid, new story, new quests, maybe like a new like hub. I actually don't know how they're gonna do like.
We need a new hub.
There's always a big major city. Like you leveled on Horde, right? So I guess Orgrimmar is like that big city for the Horde. There's usually a big city for like that's expansion specific. Okay. So like last time we had Dalaran. This time we have. We have 2 cities for Alliance and Horde, whatever.
The Aztec, and then the Aztec Empire.
Yeah, exactly. So then the next one is going to be Oribos, which is like this big like tower city kind of thing. It's pretty cool looking. Why were we talking about these cities again? But yeah, we're
gonna ask about like a new like hub, like a new like questing hub.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they add like a new like spot where you go, and that's like your like base for the expansion. And you kind of like work out of there. But so
tell us more about like what your experience was like leveling. Like, did you just level with Shocklate, or did you level like on your own? Like, where did you go? Like, how was the route? Like, what was it like?
So we would get on like every night after we'd put Caroline to bed, and then I would just go. It took me a while to figure out. I don't even know if I know which one is the question. The question marks when you turn it in, and the exclamations when you accept it.
Yay!
So we were just doing that, and I was just following, and then.
I mean, we were forced to level up through Dizal, or no, whatever it's called, Zul'Dazar.
Yeah.
Because she's brand new account, so like you have to level up through BFA.
Yeah, and that was fine. It was okay.
I've always liked BFA. Like,
it's actually pretty smooth. Like I said, I went back and I leveled through like Coltiris and stuff and like all those zones, and it actually felt really smooth. It was fast, yeah.
And like I think like we didn't even get to Vol'dun and we were already level 50. Like we finished all of Zul'Dazar and like almost all of Nazmir, and then we were level 50.
Did you do island expeditions?
No. Absolutely not.
I've been doing a lot of island expeditions actually, just for leveling.
I started to figure out, there's a couple times where like he would leave the room and I would try and do it on my own because it takes me so much longer to figure out what the next step is versus he like already knows. So now I kind of know like how to look at the mini map and like see what direction I need to go in.
You have.
But sometimes it doesn't necessarily show. Like you have to look for the things that are sparkling. So I kind of go through a checklist. Okay, if I can't see it on the mini map, then let me look for the sparkling
somewhere. Yeah.
If I can't find that, then I must have something in my bag that I have to do something with. Or like the one thing that always trips me up is the button that shows up above my toolbar. Or whatever it's called.
Like the zone ability button.
When I have to do that, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And he's like, you have a button.
Press the button.
Well, I think like whenever you're first like learning, you're just like, I feel like a lot of players like they only look at their action bar, like because you're just like learning how to play your class, so you're figuring out like what buttons to press. You're like trying to remember like what is key mapped where, like for you.
Well, then half the time I'm like, well, why is it not working? Oh, it's because he's behind me.
So like you're so busy looking at the bottom, he's like behind you, stabbing you in the back.
Yeah.
So it is a game that like it's very hard to get into, but once you're in it, like once you get like integrated and you like get comfortable playing it, it's so much fun.
I literally would not be able to play or start a character like how our friend Bryson, he was like, oh, I'm gonna start playing, because we were probably like level 30
20 or 30,
when he was like, oh, I want to start, but we're already so far ahead. And he was asking all these questions like, well, how do I do this? And it's so hard.
So much. There's so much to learn.
You don't have someone to walk you through it.
I mean, like, it's such a big game. Like, there's so many things you can do.
Yeah, because you were like, he was asking about a mount. Like, how do I get a mount? I still don't even know how I got a mount.
You got it from hitting level 10 from Exile's Reach.
Okay. But so now I have it forever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Back in the day, it used to have, like, a mount used to, like, actually, like, take up, like, a space in your bag.
Yeah.
And you'd have to, like, carry it around, but now it's, like, in this collection book.
Yeah.
Mounts are more, like, cosmetic now more than anything. More than, they provide more cosmetic than function, you know?
I liked, my favorite part out of doing what we've done so far is doing the Ice Crown dailies, or whatever we were doing. I don't know what that was for, but...
Just, like, get gear. Like, that, like, for the accommodations to get the gear.
I like doing that. That was probably more fun to me than or even, like, I guess it wasn't mount farming, it was
transmog
gear.
farming.
Yeah, like that. I enjoyed that way more than just like the leveling.
The true end game.
so when they come out with this new expansion, well, we have to like level up
to
how
60.
we did it, and then we could start doing transmog or
yeah.
mount farming.
So
yeah.
So like so before they had like more like open world leveling. So like they changed it for like whatever you leveled, but back whenever like we leveled in BFA, you could pick whatever zone you wanted to start out in. So you could either choose like Zul'Dazar, Nazmir, Vol'dun, and they were all 110 to 120. No, is it? Yes.
What the
110 to 120 was how it was whenever it launched. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's so many freaking levels, man. It's so like you could like choose that, you do the story, then you choose the next zone, do the story, so on and so forth. But now they like changed it to where it's more linear. So you start out in Zul'Dazar, you do that, then you can choose Nazmir or Vol'dun, and we chose Nazmir.
Nazmir's a good zone.
Yeah. We didn't that?
The one with like the swamp looking zone where we hit. Yeah. So
I'm actually so pissed. You know what I just realized that they should have done?
Huh.
Why was there no Shrek reference in Nazmir, man?
True,
the whole thing is a swamp.
Do they do that?
No, they should.
References?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
They do it all the time, yeah.
Like what?
There's,
what have they done?
Like
there's like a Winnie the Pooh reference for some reason in one of the zones, in the more recent zones. There's a Michael Scarn NPC. There's a lot of stuff like that. There's a Robin Williams.
They have like a Robin Williams
Mm-hmm.
NPC. He's a genie.
That's cool.
They have Stan Lee is in the game now, and he walks around as like a soldier in Stormwind. So they do a lot of, and then like now like they do, then like they had like Wreckful to the game. They had like him as like a rogue trainer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's.
That's cool. See, this is like WoW is its own almost reality.
World.
I feel like it's not like any other game.
Mm-mm.
Like.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. You guys are like one huge community, whereas like Call of Duty or Fortnite, like that's like it's just a game that you log on and to play.
Yeah.
But this
it's because we like this game, like you have to put in actual work to like achieve things, and like if you wanted to do if you wanted something specific you can go after, you have to put the time and the effort into it. Call of Duty, you just play 10 games, whatever how many games, and you get a little medal or some shit. Like it's just like an instant gratification kind of game.
There's things in Call of Duty where you can like farm out certain camos and things like that, and there are things you can do, but that's like more of like a subsection of Call of Duty where that's all of WoW. Like,
and that's
WoW
what I like
that.
to do in those games, like Fortnite or Call of Duty, is I like to do the achievements. I like to collect all the stuff. So that's what's appealing to me about WoW, is especially when you're like, oh, you could get all these sets. I mean, I can't even look at my character. I don't even know like what I look like. You just
gotta scroll in a little bit.
Or like you were looking at when we were playing with everybody, you were looking at what they all look like. I'm like, how do you see that? I can't even see what they look like. But apparently, it's important to know to have cool.
Yeah, listen. If you don't look cool, then you're not gonna play cool. You
gotta look good to play good.
Have you tried? We have not tried pet battles yet at all.
No, that is not a pet. That is not a pet battle. Yeah, that is not a pet battle household.
Pet collecting? No, I'm not a big battle pet person. I mean, that might be something that you might be into. Like
probably.
Like doing really like anything where like you're collecting something where you're like you can see like I only need like this many more to get to like.
Yes,
70%.
I like doing that. Yeah. So we leveled up the warrior, and then I think we're on like 22 on my hunter.
Yep.
And I'm not a fan of the hunter nearly as much as I like the warrior.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've only technically played like 12 levels of it, but I don't like waiting. So like when you hit one or whatever, and I have to like wait.
You may like beast mastery more then, because it's more instant.
And that's the one with the pet though, right? So then that makes me, I'm like, oh, that's something else I have to worry about as a pet.
Not really.
Okay. Well, maybe I need to change it.
I mean, eventually, like, sometimes your pet will die and you're like, oh shit, I can't do this spell, but then you just like get like
That's
revive.
That's also the thing, though. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of like how they like kind of change the classes while leveling, because when you get to max level for that hunter spec, it's a lot more fast paced.
Gear has
like
a huge like impact on how your character plays. So like the more tuned your gear, like, because like gear has different stats. There's like haste, mastery. I don't think there's critical strike. There's crit, haste, mastery, crit, and then versatility. Those are the 4, right?
Yeah.
So like certain classes perform way better with haste and like crit. So they have like their 2 like main stats that you want to go for. And so like if you're not as optimized, your class may feel like slower, or it may not, like you're not going to be hitting as hard. Like, so like the more like optimized your gear is, the better your like play experience is going to be.
Yeah, I can understand that. I don't know. So okay, another question. When you guys first started, did you like make one character, level it up all the way, and then make it the next, and like you tried every single one, or what did you?
I like whenever I first started, I didn't even know how to like play the game. I mean, like no one taught me, right? I taught myself. So like my first character, I got to level 8, and then like my computer was so shitty I couldn't even like play it anymore. So like it was just gone. Like that character was just dead to me. And then like my second character, I got to like level 20, and then like I'll try something else. So like I did like a lot of like trial and error. I didn't even get to like end game content until like after a year of playing.
Yeah, for me it was different. Like I had a main character. I started off with a night elf druid because I saw that like the first cinematic, and I saw the chick that shape shifts into a cat. I'm like, fuck yes, that needs to be me. So I made a night elf druid, and cool. I was just a big ass noob back in the day, and I couldn't figure anything out. But you know, I had my main character, which was that one, and then I kind of branched off. I'm like, oh, let me try hunter, let me try warrior, let me try this, and that. But I still stuck to that main character. But now, like, since we've been playing the game for like 15 years, you know, however long,
classes and,
I've literally leveled every class and more to max level. Like I have like hundreds of characters, like not hundreds, but like I have a bunch of characters. Yeah. You know, so yeah, I recommend like to everybody that you should level every character, every class, just so you're familiar with everything. Too. Exactly. Yeah.
And I think
because I'm already wanting to go back to the warrior. And he's like,
you're like, see, like, sometimes you just know. Like sometimes you're like, oh, like I like playing warrior. You know,
warrior just feels good too. It's just like
it's
just like cutting through soft bread. It's just like that's just how warrior feels. And it's funny,
that's
like
how I feel about Death Knight. I'm like, man, like I feel comfortable playing Death Knight. I'm out.
I was just about to say that I used to feel that way with Death Knight, and now I don't.
Well, that's because you play Demon Hunter.
Yeah, Demon Hunter is just the perfect class.
You went from like the slowest class to the fastest class. So obviously
Demon Hunter is the Lamborghini of classes. Oh my god, it's just beautiful. I love it.
Well, and Tiger Pen said something really good too. Like whenever WoW first came out, it took like months and months and months to get the max level. Now
we did it in 16 hours.
16 hours, yeah.
And that sounded slow because I jumped into someone else's stream and they said that they did theirs in like 8 hours or something.
I think it's been a long time coming for them to do this level squish and to revamp the leveling. Like just for the longest time, like the game has been so gated by that amount of time it takes to level from 1 to max, and I feel like it's put off a lot of new players like along the way. Just like, what's the max level?
Like
100?
120? What the fuck?
See, I wanted
to
go longer though. When we hit 50, I was like,
that's it?
I wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
Because that's what I always thought, that it was 100 was the top level or whatever.
Yeah,
right,
like
but it's just,
now, yeah.
You know, I've been thinking about this for years actually. It's just like, wow, like in WoD, the max level is 100. I'm like, what's the next one? 110? Okay, it's 110 now. What's 120? Like, geez, like we're gonna go to 200? Like that's insane. Like we're gonna expect us to level from 1 to 200? Like, there had to be something. It was just such a long time.
The way like leveling was before is like you would do like level 1 through 60 was all like vanilla classic zones, and then 60 to 70 was Burning Crusade, 70 to 80 was Wrath of the Lich King, and you'd go through every single expansion and level. And so like it is long. and like it felt long. Now like you pick one and you play through the entire thing, and by the time you're done with it, or even before, you're max level.
Yeah.
And like it's way better for like new players.
Now you have more of a choice of where you want to go. Exactly.
Yeah, you have like because you can be like, oh, like you know what, I've never done Burning Crusade before. Let's level up through Burning Crusade, and you can do the entire Burning Crusade campaign and story and everything. And but I think just like being leveling fast and like being like quick with the game just comes with time and practice, like with anything, right? Like with like building in Fortnite, like you like could not edit or anything before, and now you know like okay, like I can do this, and then you make a hole in the wall or whatever. I don't know how to play the game. I think that's right.
You nailed it.
I got it right. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's just like once you understand like how leveling works and how like questing works, like you kind of like know by just like seeing like what the objective is, like oh like kill, you know, you'll say like oh like slay 10 boars, okay, kill 10
0
boars
out of 10,
yeah, or like, and a lot of times like whenever you like mouse over something, he says like oh like this drops the item that you need, you know, like oh like if you kill this and you're gonna get the heart, and that's what you need, like 10 hearts for the quest. So
see, I didn't know that. I didn't look. I don't know. I guess if like after getting started and then playing for a little bit, it was just kind of like I was like robotic, like just following you around or just smashing all the buttons or
just killing everything, killing all the monsters.
Yeah.
So, I know you're just starting out, but have you like gotten a chance to like look into, or has Shocklate talked to you about like what's going to happen in Shadowlands? Like what are the new features? Like, are you like specifically excited for anything?
No,
are you have no idea?
I have no idea. I mean,
we were just so focused on like leveling. Like
to me, everything's new. So like I like going to the different places. Where were we at? It's not where the Volpera live, but it was like cool foresty kind of area. I don't know.
Zul'Dazar, where all the gorillas were.
I don't know. I can't remember, but I was like, ooh, I like this is cool. Like to me, everything is neat. I don't like the Aztec place though. That got really
that's
tiring
a really bad
really
city.
quick.
That's a really bad.
I can't wait to never go there again. Yeah.
Yep, I'm never going there ever again.
Well, that's what happens when you play Horde. You know, Horde is disgusting. They live in Aztec pyramids. Like, why would you even want to do that? It's just terrible.
How are you gonna play with your friends if all your friends are playing Horde?
I don't have any friends, if that's the case.
See, okay, so, but you go back and forth though. I'm gonna have Alliance.
Yeah, I have an Alliance character too.
That's so right. if I go over to Alliance, I would start at 0 again. I'd have to, right? It would be like brand new.
Yeah.
But you'll still have like your mounts or whatever that you've achievements that you've collected. Like those things are like account linked. You know what I'm saying? So like and
so
then
it's
like
even some mounts that like are shared between each faction, and then like the mounts that you have you have are only for Horde.
Yeah.
So you'd get like brand new mounts.
But so like that would be something I'd want to check out too. Like what's the Alliance about? But
yeah, the Alliance is like the better one anyway. So like I highly recommend that you do that. You know, because the Horde is actually disgusting and they live in mud huts, and why would you want to play them? But yeah, the Alliance is a lot better, so you should check it out. I just
followed the crowd. I'm a follower, and that's where everybody
Don't ever be like that.
Listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter what faction you play, as long as like you have a way to play with your friends. Like that's the
that's true.
Thing.
I think
if you're Alliance, you can't play with Horde. People like your quests are totally different.
We could kill each other, but that's
well, it depends where you are. The quests could be the same. Like in Shadowlands, for example, like everybody's gonna be doing the same shit, but you can't link up and join a group with a Horde person because. And I think that's where, you know, they need to kind of look at that and be like, they need to lift some restrictions, because when we're going into expansions where we're both coming together and doing the same goals and completing the same obstacles, whatever the fuck, like, I think they need to, like, break that barrier down and say, okay, like, maybe if you have a friend that plays Horde, if you want to go, not PvP, if you want to go quest with them or do Torghast with them or, you know, PvE content, that should be fine. I mean, hopefully somehow in the future that could happen, but I don't think they'll ever like tear down the barrier between.
Look how long the game's been.
Yeah.
Exactly, because there's also just too much stuff on the back end that like would kind of break the game if they removed factions in general, like the entirety of BFA, PvP. I mean, well, PvP not really.
PvP's player versus player.
Yep.
In what circumstance do you do that?
So there's a mode that they added in BFA called War Mode, where it turns on world PvP. So if you see somebody from the opposite faction in the world, you could kill them.
So like as you're questing or as
you might
you're
run
looking...
into people from the other faction. You could
Oh, okay.
fight.
Yeah, it's fun, but it
That's
can also
kinda
get
fun.
annoying.
And it's fun, but like it's only fun to a certain extent because like
I feel like it'd get old really quick.
It can get old, especially if you just like want to get shit done and you're just like I don't want to.
Especially on Classic WoW.
Oh my gosh. Well, Classic
So-
WoW is different because
Yeah,
you just get like ganked and camped for hours.
But Classic was like, it was like a simpler World of Warcraft, right? Like
Simple,
Why didn't I
but
start
more
Simple
with that?
yet
complex.
hard.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like simple. Like the systems are simple, and the gameplay is simple, but the content is harder because you're weaker. You're way weaker.
Oh, I see.
The
Why
world.
didn't I start back then? When that, because you were excited when that came out, weren't you?
Yeah, and then I realized that it's a crap game.
Oh.
No, like
Yeah.
I think everyone was excited for it just because like it was always something that Blizzard said that they would never do.
Yeah.
Like, they said like no, we're never gonna do Classic WoW. Like, we're never gonna do Vanilla WoW. And like the only way you could play Vanilla WoW, like Classic WoW, would be playing on like a private server. So like somebody like basically pirates World of Warcraft and makes a server, and you sign up for that and you play on there. And like obviously that's like copyright infringement and it's against terms of service, but like no one really ever got like enforced for it unless you were like making videos about the servers.
Yeah.
Or like you were streaming it, then you get like DMCA claimed.
So they just decided, you know what, these people are doing it anyway.
Like they said, like, oh, there's a
market.
market for this, so let's do it, And to them it probably cost them close to nothing. They had almost all of the information on like a backup of a server anyways. So it was them is really more like server maintenance and structure, which like servers are shit on Classic WoW. Like they're like I feel like my Classic WoW experience was like almost. I feel like I ruined it myself. Like I ruined my Classic WoW experience because I was like so focused on like being like really like being really good, like pushing content. But then I realized, damn, like I don't know. It felt like bad starting over from the beginning, having nothing.
Yeah.
Like I have like such like an established account. Like it's easy for me to start a new character because I already have like thousands of gold that that and like on characters that I can send over if I want to buy some shit. Like,
see, that's the one thing I don't like. I like putting in the hard work and getting my own stuff or whatever. I mean, I guess when you've been playing for so long, like you would just transfer stuff over, but like I didn't want you to give me anything. I wanted to just
You should
get
try
it
Classic.
myself.
I recommend trying it. I mean, it's so different.
We pay for the subscription, so it's included with the subscription, so you could download it, and try it.
I messed up big time in Classic. Like I just didn't know what I wanted to play class wise, and then
it's so much more of a time investment leveling is in Classic.
It is,
like
and like
months and months.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with BC, but like I'm just like going all in with Shadow. The biggest thing for me with why I couldn't fully get invested in Classic was the fact that like even though Classic is Blizzard owned, it still felt like a private server to me. And the main game is retail, right? Why would I want to go back and do something on a completely different account where the main game is only going to go forward, Classic is going to stay where it is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to focus on a good version of World of Warcraft rather than an old version of it. That you know what's going to happen and you know how everything is already. Yeah. So I just kind of lost interest in it along the way, and we started this podcast so we can make sure that Shadowlands is the best it could be. Just get our opinions out and everything. So
I think too,
we'll see.
Like Classic WoW, like the community is like. Community can
toxic as fuck.
Can make or break a game.
Why?
Yeah.
I've heard that before. What makes it different? I guess.
Another streamer in Burning Raw put it in like the best way possible. It's called like the quarterback experience. So like let's say like if you could go back in time and live high school again, knowing what you know now, like you have like all the experiences, you can basically do like a do-over. So like. For like guys, they'd be like, "Oh, like I want to be the high school quarterback. I want to be big dick on campus, Like I want to be like that, like the cool kid." But it's okay if only one person can go back and do that because the opportunity's there. But when you have thousands of people going back and doing that, and everyone wants to get the legendary, everybody wants to be world first, everybody wants to do this, and the door's only so wide, and so it like everyone gets stopped at the door and they get angry. and so they are assholes because of it.
Nice.
And it's also, I think it's just like when Classic was around, like there was just a completely different attitude, like
new.
culture-wise. Like
was new in the game. Whenever vanilla first came out, like no one knew anything about the game. So like it didn't matter if you were
I meant just like gaming culture in general back then
true.
was a lot different than it is now, and people are a little more considering of other people. And back then,
that was really like the dawn of online games. You know, EverQuest,
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, before then, like most people played on consoles. You know, PlayStation.
yeah, that's how I
Played
started.
WoW on.
No, I'm saying
No,
like
just in
video
general.
games, just games in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
They play games on console, so you didn't have like those online interactions and these huge communities, you know, forming together. But now,
Right.
like, you know, you can message somebody on Discord from across the world and connect them in a second. And like
Mhm.
a big thing is like cross faction collusion. So like in the new game, like you can like basically communicate with the other faction. But back then, like you couldn't. Like there was like no way you could communicate with Horde. So like they have like these like giant groups where they basically plan and they basically Horde and Alliance work together when they should be like competing against each other.
Yeah.
And so like certain guilds will group together and work together, and like other guilds will be like basically fucked because now this Alliance guild has a Horde guild to help kill Alliance players while they're doing the thing, or vice versa. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to TBC because that's when I kind of really started playing the game.
Yeah.
Like I started too late in vanilla to like really even say that I started in vanilla, right? So like I'm a little more like nostalgic for BC than I was for vanilla. So I'm excited. Like I figured out like kind of what I want to main in BC, a Blood Elf Priest. So hopefully I'll stick to that when the time comes and maybe get to level 70 because I never got to 60.
I don't like Horde. I don't want to play Horde, but then you're gonna play a freaking Blood Elf in Burning Crusade. But you won't play a Blood Elf in Shadowlands with the boys.
You have to. I am. I already have a character on it.
You made your hunter, right? You're level 60 on the hunter. On your Horde.
Yeah, 50 on the hunter. But
Oh, 50,
I think this is what I'm gonna do, right? I have my main, which is my Night Elf Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
On my low pop bullshit server.
Yeah.
And I'll have my Alliance alt, which is Cartman.
Yeah.
My Dwarf Paladin. Then I'm gonna have my Horde main, which is gonna be my Nightborn Warrior. And then the alt will be
Another allied race. Like
I've never
similar
heard
to
of
the
that.
Volterra. They're like
there are other elves.
Another elf.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then I think a Blood Elf Warlock.
Ooh.
I think I'll abandon the hunter that I made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He'll I'll get to him later.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many things that you can do, like you can be, or
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like it's kind of weird to me that they didn't market Shadowlands with the new races as playable races, because even though they haven't said it, like they're gonna be playable at a certain point. I feel like they want us to like experience the expansion and the story first, and then they'll come out and say, okay, you can play as them now. But I feel like it would have been a lot more beneficial to them to
do it at launch.
market them at launch, because like looking back, like for me at least, like I was so excited for Cataclysm because it's like, holy shit, I can play as a goblin and a werewolf. What the fuck? Death Knights? What? You know, like just all these new characters is what like marketed at the launch of the expansion is what like kind of like got me hyped to play the expansions. So it's like I don't know.
A good way to think, like, okay, so like every like expansion they've either like released like a new class or a new race. So like Burning Crusade, they announced like Blood Elf and Draenei. Draenei are like the.
Well, I remember when this is like forever ago, right? When Miss Pandaria came out, and it was like the panda. People were excited that
pandas and monks. They added two.
Yeah. I remember
So like
that.
yeah, this expansion was supposed to be like a new class expansion, right? Because every other expansion pretty much
like
is when they've
swaps.
like
What
released
else
a
could
new.
they do? I feel like they already have.
But that's why they didn't do it this time, because they wanted to go back and like rework a lot of the existing classes. So I think that's a better thing to focus on than making a new class. What did Snack Prophet say? Venthyr and Night Fae feel like obvious allied races because it would be easy to make armor fit them. Yeah, that's the thing too. All of the allied races, I think, except for Venthyr, which they can. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just Nightborn models that are just like altered or whatever. But all of the Covenant races are. They use the rigging for existing playable races. So like all you have to do is flip a switch and say, okay, they're playable now.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. The only thing, like, I was thinking about this, like, the Necrolord race, like, they're based off of the Colterian models.
Oh yeah.
They have like they have a really big beefy race or a smaller like skeleton-like race. But I don't think the skeleton ones have like a female counterpart, whatever. But they don't look like they have much customization like that could go into them, because all of them have like hoods. Like, I don't know how they would do it. I feel like they would need a little bit of a rework if they were to make a Necrolord race, but we'll see. I have faith. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I really want to play a Venthyr character.
They look like vampires, like real, like,
yeah. You were
they
showing
they look
me.
like Asmongold.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm down for vampires. That's kind of cool. But like,
yeah.
now you say Asmongold, I'm like,
well, that's the meme. Like anything that's like skinny and lanky and like like looks like withered, they say Asmongold. Oh, she pissed. Oh, she mad.
I already reserved the name Mr. Tumnus on Kel'Thuzad for my furry race.
Tumnus. What is that, Narnia?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know. We'll see. I feel like they will. But I'm just hyped overall. I'm just excited that we're going to play something new and hopefully
I mean, like,
good.
expansions are always fun. Like, I've never missed an expansion from since that time I played. Even if I take a break, I always come back for the expansion because, like, sometimes you just need like a couple months off, and then you come back and you're like, you're rejuvenated, and you're like, okay, like, new content, new expansion, fresh start. I can, it's like a nice little reset button,
Yeah.
And I think for you, since like as like a new player, you never really got to experience an expansion like this. Like, Shadowlands will be your first expansion.
Yeah, but to me, it just feels like new stuff. Like, just because there's still so much I don't know.
But like, really, you just like kind of like got caught up, but you didn't do any like dungeons in BFA. You didn't do any raids. You didn't do islands. You didn't play through.
No,
you didn't play through any of like the BFA, the BFA like content, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like now, and also good like that. It's garbage. You don't want to do it anyways.
Well, if anyone's willing to play with me, I'm slow, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll try.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
We gotta build up your
Don't even
list.
worry about it.
I know. I'm like.
Yeah.
But I still don't see myself playing by myself. It's just a lot.
Dodge the bullet,
and that's the thing with me though. Like, I haven't really played with friends like consistently since about Mop. I mean, Draenor was when I had like one of my best friends that I've been playing with since like BC, like just stop. But Mop was like the big time where we were like all of my IRL friends were playing together, and I was like, fuck yes. That's why like Mop will always be like one of my favorite expansions. Not because of the aesthetic, I really didn't like the aesthetic and like the lore or whatever, but just like the times that I spent like with my IRL friends like in WoW, like doing PvP in the Timeless Isle, like I'll never forget those times. So that's why Mop is like one of my favorite expansions. But now that I've made so many friends like during the time of BFA
and
Legion, I didn't really have that many people. Like, I mean, the end of Legion, I guess, when BFA was coming out, and I started to get to know people from Twitch. But, like, I'm just excited to get into a new expansion, fresh, with friends that I've made, and like not be a solo player anymore, because I've been a solo player for a long time, and it sucks. It sucks. I mean, like, Legion was fine. I guess I'm gonna fucking have to at this point. But like, Legion was fine because like there was so much content, and I was kind of content with being alone because there was so much for me to do.
Yeah.
Apart from like raiding, I mean, like, whatever. I did some raids with my like guild that I was in. But no, I'm excited to actually do like literally all of the content with friends this time.
I think it'll be, like I said, like for you, like since it's like your first like real expansion, like you're gonna get to like experience like end game dungeon, dungeons, raids
at the same time as everybody
PvP
else.
at the same time.
Else.
Like you're gonna see it with them too, and like now like it'd be different if like you like came into the expansion like halfway through, because then you'd have to get caught up, learn how to play your class, learn how to do everything, and then get into that stuff. Like now, like you've already like leveled up. You're like learning how to play now. Like you're becoming more efficient. You're figuring out your class, right? And then like once the expansion drops, then it's just like, okay, like take what I learned, continue that into leveling, get to 60, and then let's do dungeons, let's do raids, let's do PvP, let's do all of that stuff. You know, let's do Torghast, which is like, so like there's a mode called
Torghast?
Torghast is like
an endless dungeon.
like an endless
you can just
dungeon,
go.
yeah. So like you go in and you
do you get stuff from it?
yes. You get like a currency for like your legendary items. So
that's the problem that I have with it. Like they're not very
Yeah.
clear of like what kind of rewards they're gonna put in. It's gonna be used towards like the legendary items that we get, that we're gonna create rather, but they haven't really said like what kind of like transmog or mounts or like unique looking gear that we'll get through there.
There's a mount that you can get, but it's like time gated.
Yeah,
it's like heavily time gated.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
I think mount, transmog, and legendary currency. So, but I think like I don't know. I'm excited for you because like I remember like I started playing in Burning Crusade, but I didn't really like know how to play, and like I remember like going into Wrath of the Lich King because like like Wrath is my favorite. Like obviously like Wrath is like my favorite expansion, whatever, right? I can't even see my tattoo, but like when I saw the Lich King, I'm like, man, like this is like that's the dude. That's the bad guy, like that's like the big main bad guy. And like I was like, oh, Death Knights, what? That's a thing? I can be that? Like, and I don't know, like just like everything about it got me so excited about it. And then I just kind of got like lost in the game. Like I just like I played so much of it. And
can I ask you a question? Are you gonna like when launch happens? Like I know you're gonna play with Jen, obviously, but are you gonna watch streams? Are you gonna like completely shut off the internet and just immerse yourself in the game? I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I think I'm gonna stream. Like I'm gonna stream.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So you're not gonna see anyone else's point of view.
Yeah. So like I think.
Yeah.
I don't know like if like we're gonna wait like a couple hours because like. It's like it's easy to play whenever like Caroline's in bed, like she's asleep, like this little potato here, like
like we could play every like if Caroline's asleep, then we can play for like a solid 2 hours straight, and then it's like for an hour we have to get back to doing
we
have children to
but then when it's Caroline being up, then it just adds another. She's easy, but it just still adds another thing. So like if we started playing tomorrow at what time? If
5.
you said 5, but you said it like servers are slow or something.
Like servers might be like down. There might be like login queues. So there might be
I'm curious to see how it goes. Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully that'll be fine. But they're doing it all from working from home. Like, so hopefully it's all gonna be okay.
So we might have to wait till like nighttime to really.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like I know other streamers are like just like waiting till the next day. They're like like I have like family.
Why?
Well, like it's Thanksgiving week, like starting like Monday, like it's like Thanksgiving week, so like families coming into town, like people might be working or like things like that. So like like I'm just gonna like not worry about the expansion launch, the rush. I can go to it on Tuesday and be just fine.
But you don't want to see other people doing it.
Well, there's like spoilers, like story spoilers. What we should do is like like tonight or whatever, we should like watch like some like videos to like get you like caught up on the story because the story is actually really good. Like
weren't we watching something? There was like something that was coming out weekly.
Like the Afterlife series.
That's not this.
That's Shadowlands. Yeah, it's like those were stories like introducing the all 4 covenants. I mean, yeah. I think I'm not gonna I might just like pop open streams like during the launch and just like check on everybody, but like I don't think I'm gonna I wanna be immersed in WoW again and just like kind of do my own thing
shut everything off and just play.
Shut it all off and just like get back to that original feeling of being lost in WoW, and I want that
because
back.
Like we haven't like gone to like a new place in a long time.
Exactly.
Like the first expansion we went to Outland, which is where like in Burning Crusade, like you went to Outland, and then like the next expansion you're back on Azeroth, which is like our world, and you went like to Northrend, which is like the North Pole basically.
Yeah.
You went to go kill Santa Claus, and then after that it was Cataclysm, which they basically like revamped the old world, so they revamped that. Then you went to Mists of Pandaria, which is like you went south, and it was more like tropical themed. And then Santa Claus expansion, yeah, true. And then after that, we went to Warlords of Draenor, which is like, we went back to Outland, but before it was Outland, it's called Draenor. So like we went back in time, and it was just really weird. It didn't like feel like part of the story. Like it felt like nothing really mattered because it was in the past and like an alternate reality, but then like they like blended it. It's just, whenever you add like time travel, it just muddies the water. And then Legion came out and we were like still on Azeroth. Then BFA came out and we're still on Azeroth. And then now we're going into the Shadowlands, which is like a completely new realm. It's not like a different world. It's still part of Azeroth, but it's like it's the afterlife. You're traveling into the afterlife, and like there's gonna be like familiar characters in there. It's just gonna be a really cool like experience. And then like the art is always really good from Blizzard. Like I feel like I'm more excited about just seeing everything. It's like and just like wow, like it's crazy to think that like somebody built that. Somebody built the game. Like I don't know. It's not Azeroth. Well, it's I know it's not Azeroth, but it feels like it's like part of Azeroth. You know.
So what is on Azeroth?
Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdor, which are the two main continents. Then up north you have Northrend, which is where we were at Icecrown.
Yeah. Okay.
South you have Pandaria. Then you have the Broken Isles, which is next to the Maelstrom, which is like a giant storm in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
And then next to the Broken Isles, you have Kolteras and Zuldazar, or Zandalar, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Wrath of the Lich King, classic content, Mists of Pandaria content, BFA content, Cataclysm content. Yeah. That's all on Azeroth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
this will
Warlords,
be cool
and
to
then
see. I'm excited to see y'all's reactions.
I'm excited about it. I mean, like, I was excited about BFA, but then like I said, anytime a new expansion comes out, even like it's still fun. Like it's always like fun. Like the start of expansion is always a good time because it's new. It's new stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Adam.
I'm very hyped.
Expansion comes out in 26 hours. 26 hours from now, we will be playing Shadowlands.
Are you gonna do a final tweet and say 24 hours till Shadowlands or something like that?
Well, I did like one day. I could do like 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
But then like I was thinking like I could do like an hourly count, but then I'm like nah. Then I have to be like up every hour to do that, and that's fuck that.
yeah.
I'll just do one tomorrow. I'll just do like one tomorrow morning. Like Shadowlands is out today. Dawn of the final day. True.
Yeah.
Yep. One more sleep till Shadowlands.
I'm hyped. I don't know if I'm gonna.
What are you most excited about, man? Like what? Like have you been preparing? Have you got your snackies ready?
No. I don't think I'm gonna go all out like that. Maybe I'll think about it today, but I don't know. What I'm excited for is just experiencing the new shit, man. And like I've said before, just like playing the expansion with friends, with people that I can talk to in Discord, and just like I want to experience WoW in a different way than I've been experiencing it in the past couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm just hyped to have like a fresh new experience and hopefully get to see Blizzard interact with the community more and listen to what we want, rather than being stubborn with their own fucking beliefs of how they want the game to be. Torghast is my main thing, is what I'm excited for, and PvP I want to get into. So there's a lot of things that I'm excited for. It's a loaded question, but what about you, man?
I think, and this is gonna be like sound really jaded, but like I think just BFA being over.
Well, that's like, we know that.
I'm just excited. I'm just glad that BFA is just done. Like we survived. We made it through BFA. Like, and everyone says like Warlords of Draenor was the worst expansion. I don't think that WoD was the worst expansion because WoD's content was really good and the gameplay was really good. There just was a huge content drought. Like they just didn't add anything to the game for 18 months.
I think there's this big debate of like which expansion was the worst, WoD or BFA, and I think that
they're both worse for different reasons.
They're both very bad. I just think that BFA was personally the fucking worst that WoW has ever been in its history of existence.
Yeah.
Just because like WoD, like the original like main systems and principles of the game were in there. BFA kind of just flipped everything upside down and said we're gonna make a completely different game.
They keep reinventing the wheel.
You know,
that's their problem.
But it obviously wasn't bad enough to get y'all to quit the game.
I quit for like 3 months.
I quit for like I was very on and off. I was very on and off. Yeah, I actually to be honest, like I haven't really played BFA seriously since like the first Raid Wing, or since what was the one in
Eternal Palace?
What city was it? It was the
BOD?
The troll one, the Zandalar, the raid, whatever it was
BOD.
called. Dazar Lore, yeah, BOD. That was the last raid I did, and then I was just like, you know what? What's the point? And then actually I did Nyalotha like once or twice with the boys, but I just wasn't motivated to do any of the content, and I just didn't feel like it was worth my time. So I just stuck to editing. I did my own thing.
You found other stuff to do. It wasn't worth your time.
Yeah, exactly. So I just couldn't do it.
Dang.
That's why I'm like so excited for Shadowlands. Like hopefully if it's good, I want to be immersed in it, and I want to be able to just know life WoW again. Now I'm playing WoW. No, literally though, like
this is a bad time because it's like Christmas. People are busy. Like
I'm not going anywhere.
We're gamers.
Not doing anything.
We're
exactly.
gamers.
People are calling up their families. They're like, sorry, I can't come for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Corona, I can't come, and then
I
like,
have to be quarantined for 2
stay
days.
over there. Don't come over here.
Yeah, exactly. Donut Jared said I bought AOTC for Nyalotha. Yeah, so did I.
Same dude.
So did I.
It's an achievement called Ahead of the Curve. So like if you clear, so like they always have like a pre-patch before the next patch, where they like nerf the raid and make it a little bit easier. So if you kill the final boss on heroic difficulty, you get like an achievement and a mount.
Oh.
And so AOTC is that achievement. Mythic Raid is coming out on the 15th. Yeah, true. Yeah, like Mythic Raid is coming out like literally the week before Christmas.
So how do you guys know all of this? Is it like on Twitter? Is like they tweet it out or
what?
Like he knows the date something's
coming
out,
like they have like blue posts. So we go to like there's like websites called like Wowhead or MMO Champion, and they have bots that scan like Blizzard's announcements, and they like they'll make like update posts, and then on Twitter too.
Oh, okay.
And then anytime anything happens ever that's related to Blizzard or World of Warcraft, like every content creator ever will make something about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the information
it's
is just
community. Like you guys are like I don't know. It's a
lifestyle. Now you're part of it too.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I did download Twitter, so
yeah.
She's on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is a big part of it. I didn't realize until I was like, oh shit.
It's like I don't know. I think one thing I'm like the most sad about is just honestly just like playing with you, like experiencing it with you. No, I'm serious. Like I'm not saying that to be like.
It only took you 10
sweet.
Years.
Yeah,
like,
well, it's like
all these nights of me playing by myself.
I finally got her to play WoW with me, and now like what? Like I'm just gonna level up super fast and have you just like
better not
level up on yourself. No, like we're gonna play together. Like we're gonna level up together, and like do the stuff together, right?
True.
And then like by that time like you'll have like friends that you've made in the game in the guild, and like there'd be like guild events we can go do, and like I don't know. I'm excited. I'm just excited to play the expansion. Like I think I kind of want to go to the store and like get like some pre-game snackies.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have I don't know, like I don't want to just eat like chips and candy the entire time because it makes you feel like yucky.
That's yucky.
I want to get some like
you should get beef jerky's good. You should get Lenny and Larry's protein cookies. Not sponsored, by the way.
I think I've either had them or I've heard of them.
Veggies are good.
They're delicious and they're filling.
Some carrots and some carrots and ranch.
Are Lenny's the big fat cookies that come?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those.
They've got 12 grams of protein in each of them, so they're good.
Yep.
John's not like a sweet eater
Snackies.
though. He is like a salty.
I like salty snacks.
I think I might actually go get some of those.
Shocklate, Adam is joining Incendiary.
I am. I just gotta figure out what I think it's the Warrior.
Adam's going Horde. It's confirmed.
God, I'm maining Alliance, but I'll dabble in the Horde. Okay.
No, you're gonna have an Alliance main. You're gonna have an Alliance main and a Horde main. Don't lie.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm gonna have.
Oh my god.
Playing a Volpera. Yeah, true.
Yeah, vote for your gang.
Full Parrot Gang, ooh woo, the ooh woo gang. Well, what are you most excited about for the expansion? Like, I guess like.
I'm excited to see you guys excited.
Aww.
Y'all are so cute. I'm reading chat and everyone's like, I'm so excited. Like, I didn't realize.
She thinks we're cute, Pog!
I didn't realize it was that big of a deal.
Any people cutes?
Because, like, okay, so I'm really big into Fortnite. I know, it's like so lame.
Yeah.
But,
No, it's not. Listen, nothing is as lame as World of Warcraft,
Oh, okay.
Like, let's be honest.
So,
Yeah.
like, we would get excited when, like, the new chapters or new seasons would come out because it's, like, new challenges, the world looks different.
New skins.
Like, whatever. Yeah. And so, but we weren't like this, like, where we're like, oh my gosh, only 24 hours, or I gotta get my snacks. Like, we weren't like that.
I think, like, streaming culture and, like, content creating culture, it, like, changed that for WoW, too. Well, like, WoW has always been, like, a degenerate game. Like, degens who live in their mother's basement play World of Warcraft.
That's how I've always thought. No offense. But that's how my brother-in-law, like, one thing that really sticks out to me is, like, my sister always saying, like, oh, it's raid night for him. Or,
Raid
like,
night.
Like, they couldn't ever do anything on whatever night that was. Like, it was like their life stopped because that's what, I'm like, they're such losers. Like, they have to be home.
Think about it like this. Like, think about, like, being on, like, a team, you know?
Yeah, well,
and,
now
like,
I understand.
you can't let your team down, you know? Like, you gotta be there for your team. You gotta, you know, you commit to it and...
Yeah.
Think about it like this. Harry Potter comes out with a new movie tomorrow.
Oh,
like
that's
a new
whole cult of, like... Yeah,
a new actually
wild.
good movie of a Harry Potter comes out tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's how it
would be
feels.
exciting. I'd be
Yeah.
really excited. So I get it.
People always give, like, Fortnite players shit, but, like, yeah, Donut Jar said it best. You know, you can't make fun of somebody for playing a video game whenever you play World of Warcraft. Like, you know, I think World of Warcraft's the coolest game ever. Like, I love the game.
Well, and
like,
it's so weird to me because it's such a huge community, but I also feel like there's people that have never heard of it too. I'm like, how have you not?
It's
how
like
do you not know what
it's
it
like the
is?
best known secret.
Yeah.
It's true.
I don't
It's
know
true.
about the
It really is.
best.
And it's so funny that, like, because of that, whenever I see something WoW related, like in pop culture, like a movie reference or shows referencing it, or there's a TV commercial, or there's an ad that is whatever, something like that, something with WoW along, like WoW in pop culture, like other than where I'm seeing on Twitch or Twitter, like I'm like, oh, like I feel like that's like they're talking about like my family, you know what I mean? Like they're talking about me, you know what I mean?
Was it in Lucifer that they
Yeah.
had a
That's
WoW
what I was
reference?
that's exactly what I'm referencing. That's
Lich King
exactly what I'm
reference.
And
referencing.
I was like,
Exactly what I'm
did
talking
you
about.
hear that right?
It's like, bruh, are you playing on, like, a Wrath of Lich King private server, dude? Like,
I know.
Lich King's been dead for 20 years, man.
I was dying. I love that. That was so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
South
stuff like
Park,
that.
Law
I'm
and
just like, oh
Order,
shit.
yeah.
I've seen the South Park one. That's why people think that it's nasty people living in their mom's basement.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Well,
South
and
Park's
then,
what
like,
got me started.
I think, like, I don't know, BlizzCon 2021. We should do our best to go to BlizzCon.
I would be interested now because
like,
I'm actually playing.
I don't know, I feel like it just, like, makes it real, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why BlizzCon was like such a crazy time for me, because like I actually got emotional, like not to sound like a little bitch, but like I actually got emotional like walking into the convention center, because I've been playing the game for 14-15 years at that point, and like the WoW music I have only ever heard through my own computer speakers and my own headphones.
Not in, like,
The
real
fact that
life.
I walked through a giant convention center with the WoW music blasting, like I actually got like kind of misty-eyed, because I was like, holy shit, like this isn't my computer, this isn't my basement, like, you know what I mean? Like this is real life.
So you just
So,
went
like,
by yourself? You're like,
No,
I'm
I
just
went
gonna
with a
go.
friend of mine. I went with a friend of mine who I found out also played WoW for a while, and then he said he would be down to come with me.
Oh, okay.
I feel like a
yeah.
lot of, like, WoW gamers are, like, closet WoW gamers. Like, they don't want anybody to know that they play WoW. But that's how, like,
That's
felt,
how
like,
I
in, like,
was
high
for a very
school.
long time.
In, like, high school, like, I
Yeah,
didn't
me
want
too.
anybody to know. I was like, that's like my secret. Like,
But
whenever,
you were
like,
saying there's a lot of famous people that play
Tons.
WoW.
Yeah.
It's like
Henry
Oh.
Cavill. It's funny because I was talking to my friend that I mentioned that stopped playing in WoD. I brought him back for Classic actually, but it was the like a couple weeks ago or a week ago or something like that, was like the anniversary of Wrath of the Lich King.
yeah, that's
And I was talking to my friend about it, and I was like, I remember the time I like skipped school to go buy the Wrath expansion at GameStop and pretend I was sick. And then he was like, yeah, like I'll never forget that day because I was leaving school and my aunt came in front, like he was standing in front of all of our other friends in front of our high school, and then his aunt came and like handed him the expansion like a fucking drug deal, and he hid it in his pocket. I mean, in his backpack. And he goes back to his friends and like, oh, like what are you doing tonight? You want to come out with us? And he's like, you want to come hang out with us? Whatever. He's like, oh, like I gotta go do something with my family, whatever. I can't hang out tonight.
Funny.
And then he went like what's it called? He went AWOL for like days. Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's like it's a whole other
I mean,
world.
like, I think about it, like, I've played WoW longer than I've known you.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
a
it's
long
funny.
time.
Just to close this conversation off, like Rich on Allcraft said, I don't have a wife yet, but I know now that I love this game more than I love her.
I don't know. That's not true in my situation. Like, if it was between like World of Warcraft and my wife and family, like.
You have always picked, like, if I've ever needed you, like, not to play, you have never given me a hard time about, like, spending time with me versus playing or anything like that, so it's not...
Well, that's the problem, like, the game now is very easy to walk away from.
Yeah.
But if this was 10 years ago, or 5 years ago...
Exactly, yeah.
No, I like it. I'm gonna keep playing. Maybe as I play and I get more confident, then I'll be able to break away from you and like play in my own time.
I'll be able to, let you fly from the nest, my little bird.
Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet.
So I'm still mouth feeding you quests.
Yeah, you are. Kinda.
There you go.
Kinda. I'm getting.
So on that note, if any single ladies in the chat, looking for a WoW gamer boyfriend, I'm here. Hit me up.
Maybe
DMs
I
are
can
open.
find some girls to play with, and then I can start.
And then you can tell them that AdamShwaginz is single.
There's actually a lot of girls in our guild, Incendiary.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
really?
girls in your
Okay,
guild?
so I'm gonna need
in our guild.
Just kidding. No worries. I see Simpin on Twitter. Sorry.
Hey man, secure the bag.
Well, this has been fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Sorry, I don't know what everything is.
That's like, I don't say like that's like, oh, like that's why we brought you on, because you don't know anything about the game. No, like we wanted to because like you have like such like a unique experience. Like you have such a unique take on the game, because you just started playing it when like Adam and I've been playing for 15, 14 years, like we know everything about the game, or we think we do.
But we don't.
I don't know anything about it, man. I just pretend.
Yeah.
I just have like Wikipedia open up on stream all the time.
You always pull up Google when you're like, how do I do
Hey, it's a great tool. It's a great tool. Well, thank you guys for watching. I don't even know what episode this is. It's the return episode, season 2, baby.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 1. Season 2, episode 1. The last episode before Shadowlands. Boys.
Oh, so then this is the season finale.
This is the season finale.
Oh,
There it is.
There you
Season
go.
finale. And I do want to continue doing these episodes while we're playing the expansion, Adam, because like
I think
we'll probably take like 2 weeks off.
I think we focus on I think we focus on having a guest every time. I think, going into Shadowlands, it could just be you and I, like, sometimes if we don't want to, like, have a guest on.
Or if we just can't find anybody who wants to.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone... you should. And then just talk about your experience so far. I think I would be interested in hearing, like...
Yeah, I'm down with that.
What did you do this weekend? Wow. Oh, I did this and this and that, and then I did this.
What do you think so far?
Oh! So, I know I give you a hard time about wanting to pick the Furry Covenant. Are you going to pick the Furry Covenant? Because I think if you're like wanting like the best experience, that's probably the best one to go with. I think the story is probably the best one right there.
I don't know.
I'm gonna play all 4 of them, but I'm gonna main the Revendreth.
I'm gonna have 4 main characters.
Mm-hmm.
4 main characters?
Yeah.
So what do? You make one, you level it all the way up, make 2.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, my DK, I'm gonna level them up, get everything I can as maxed out as I can, and then like maybe like a month or 2 in, I'll go back and I'll level up another character. Mm-hmm. Like I really want to make my DK like my main character, with like the most progression on it, and then from there I'll kind of do like catch up stuff on the other alts. But
I don't know. We'll have to see. we'll talk about that tonight. What I can do, but
Talk
Reverend
covenants with me. True.
Revendreth is the way.
True.
go away.
Are we ready, dude? We're ready. Do you guys just want to hang out and just chat for a little bit? I mean, we can call it a day on the episode, and we can just talk with chat.
Sure.
Let's do it. Okay, bye. Thank you guys for watching the episode of PUGCast, our season finale before Shadowlands with Jen as our guest.
With
Jen.
Jen and baby.
Jen and baby. Yes. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay.